Learning outcomes. Learning outcomes are statements that describe the knowledge or skills students should acquire by the end of a particular assignment, class, course, or program, and help students understand why that knowledge and those skills will be useful to them. Good learning outcomes emphasize the application and integration of knowledge. Instead of focusing on coverage of material, learning outcomes articulate how students will be able to employ the material, both in the context of the class and more broadly. And more importantly, the difference between learning objectives and learning outcomes. Difference between learning outcomes and learning objectives is not universally recognized. Learning objectives, for example, may outline the material the instructor intends to cover in the class. By contrast, learning outcomes should focus on what the student should know and realistically be able to do by the end of an assignment, activity, class, or course. The same goals addressed by learning objectives can be equally addressed by learning outcomes, but by focusing on the application and integration of the course content from the perspective of the student. Good learning outcomes focus on the application and integration of the knowledge and skills acquired in a particular unit of instruction. More specifically, good learning outcomes must be SMART. Speak to the learner. Learning outcomes should address what the learner will know or be able to do at the completion of the course. Measurable. Learning outcomes must indicate how learning will be assessed. Applicable. Learning outcomes should emphasize ways in which the learner is likely to use the knowledge or skills gained. Realistic. All learners who complete the activity or course satisfactorily should be able to demonstrate the knowledge or skills addressed in the outcome. Time bound. The learning outcome should set a deadline by which the knowledge or skills should be acquired. Transparent. Learning outcomes should be easily understood by the learner. Transferable. Learning outcomes should address the knowledge and skills that will be used by the learner in a wide variety of contexts. So, how do you write a good learning outcome? A helpful and frequently used resource when writing student learning outcomes is Bloom's taxonomy of cognitive skills. Bloom's taxonomy refers to a classification of different objectives that educators set for students. The three domains of educational activities or learning given by Bloom are cognitive, that is the mental skills, affective, growth in feelings or emotional areas, and psychomotor, manual or physical skills. So to always get a clear understanding, we can use Bloom's taxonomy to write learning outcomes.